thank you for joining me. It's always an honor for me to share my practice. Today, I wanted to create a beginner's flow because I know there's a lot of people out there that are maybe trapped at home looking for some sort of movement. And I think a nice little movement practice like what we're going to do today is going to work really well. Help you get rid of the jitters, stretch your muscles, build a little strength, mobility, flexibility. We're going to kind of mix it up a little bit, and it should be really nice, and it should be really approachable for people who are new to yoga and looking to develop a practice. So let's start off by just taking a couple deep breaths, maybe 5. Inhale, exhale. Let it all go. You know, there's a lot going on in the world. Just let it go. Inhale. Exhale. With that exhale, we'll set an intention to do positive things for our body. Inhale. Exhale. That exhale, set the intention to do positive things for our mind. Inhale. Exhale. We'll set the intention to build strength in our spirit. Exhale. I think most importantly right now is that we find the intention to help the others around us that need it. So let's make that the most important. Right. Yeah, so let's start this class in a seated position. I'd like to bring your left shin parallel to the front of the mat, okay? And we're gonna bring our right shin parallel to the right side of the mat. So our legs are gonna form kind of a 90-degree angle here, okay? And then we're gonna recline, maybe bring our left elbow to the ground, and take some nice big wide arm circles. Really try to stay with that breath that we established. It's really important in the beginning of a practice to form that connection with your movement and your breath. When you get all the way to the very back, extend as far as you can across your side body. Take a little side stretch here. All right, let's sit up. So now what we're gonna do, bring our hands down to the ground here. We're gonna take our right leg We're going to bring it all the way around to the back of the mat. We're going to come into pigeon pose. Now, it's real important in pigeon pose that we keep our foot engaged. You can point it, or you can flex it like this. Either way is engaged, and that engagement is going to protect the knee. So the further forward you bring your leg, the more of a stretch you're going to get. But if you don't have the flexibility and you find that your foot's back a little bit more back, that's okay, no problem. It's just wherever feels comfortable. Don't do anything that puts pain into your knee. Okay. And now that we're in pigeon, we're going to kind of lean just a little bit, or maybe a lot, depending on your flexibility, onto our hip. We're going to rotate our foot all the way forward to the front of the mat. And now let's take it. Let's rotate it all the way back. Come back into our pigeon. Now with your breath, nice and gentle and slow and controlled. Just take about 5 reps of that. The further I lean over, the easier this movement is. And the more upright that I sit, the more that's going to require out of the hip. So, kind of find that place that feels good. All right. And then when you get to the top, let's hold this. Okay. And let's bring our right foot and let's place it down on the mat and stand up onto our left knee. So this is called gate pose. Okay, we're going to take our left hand, bring it down to the mat, take a nice side stretch, really extend across your side body. Notice how I'm gazing up. I have an internal rotation of my top hand, grounding down through the outside edge of my right foot, back foot. All right. Let's take 5. Knee to elbow. Extend. Rise up to gate pose. This time we're going to raise our left hand up to the sky. And we're going to place it as close to your right foot as you can. If you don't have the flexibility, your hand's going to be a little further back. We're moving into this twist. And for those of you that have a little more flexibility, maybe you can bring your hand out here. We want to engage the outside of our right leg all the way from our hip all the way down to the outside edge of our foot. Should be a firm line of engagement there. We're going to rotate and raise our right hand to the sky, come into a nice twist. Now we're going to rise up, reach our left hand to the sky. We're going to reach back with our right hand for our left heel. Notice how I'm pushing my hips forward. Now, Left hand's going to come back down next to the right foot. Right hand comes back up. Let's move between those two a few times. Guys. Right hand reaches back to the left foot. Left hand extends overhead. Inhale. Left hand to the ground. Right hand to the sky. Twist. Inhale. Right hand reaches back to the left heel. Left hand reaches overhead. Let's pivot up onto the right heel. Pivot on the back knee. Kind of square your hips to the front of the mat. Fold over your front leg. Bring your hands as close to your heel as you can, you know. Like I said, if you have less flexibility, you find yourself, you just are where you are, you know, we all start somewhere. And over time, you know, we slowly want to learn how to bring our chest, extend our hands forward. I like to teach to reach forward with your chin. So rather than me try to fold over and touch my forehead to my leg like this, probably a lot better for the stretch. I'm reaching with my chin, trying to touch my chin to the leg. You know, it's not bad to round the spine in a forward fold, and it's not bad to extend and reach with your chin. They're just doing different things, you know. Mostly the rounding in the spine is a contraction in your shoulder girdle that kind of causes that rounding. Not so much in the back. Let's bring the right leg all the way across the top of the front of the mat, parallel to the front of the mat. Let's slide the left leg parallel to the left side of the mat. And we'll find this kind of 90-degree angle here. Okay. Let's recline. Bring our right elbow to the ground. Take some nice big arm circles. Just kind of loosen up the shoulder just a little bit. And when you get to the back, extend your hand overhead all the way as far back as you can. Take a nice side body stretch. Come upright. Extend our left leg all the way to the back of the mat. Come into our pigeon on our right side. Settle in just a little bit. Pigeon's a nice stretch. I think it's a real good stretch for people that are beginning yoga and just starting their yoga practice. People usually carry a lot of tension there. Unless you already have a developed yoga practice. Most people are pretty tight in your hips. Bring our left foot all the way around. Extend it to the front of the mat. Let's do 5. Pigeon. The more engaged you keep your leg in this exercise, the more success you're going to have. And if your leg is kind of flapping around, it's going to make this more difficult. Notice as I rotate, my leg is engaged the whole time. Now we typically in America kind of associate each muscle as individual muscles, but next time your foot comes to the front of the mat, let's keep it there. Let's ground it down to the front of the mat as we rise onto our right knee. Bring our right hand to the ground. We're going to take a nice side body stretch. Like I was saying, as we learn more about muscles and the muscle tissue system, we start to learn that they're not actually so individual, that they actually operate as a network of muscle fascia, a single unit. We're going to rise upright. We're going to raise our hand up to the sky. I'm going to bring our right hand as close to your left foot as you can. You're back here. Take a little twist. Wherever feels good for you. And so, like with a lot of stretches like this, the benefit to having an engagement all the way down the side of my leg is I'm stretching this entire myofascial line and not just individual muscles. As soon as you take away the engagement of that stretch and you go into passive stretching, you no longer have that tension through the outer edge of your leg, and so you're not stretching the entire line, but you're stretching one specific area because you're not engaged. So that'll, instead of distributing that stretch throughout the whole line, the passive stretching all of a sudden gets moved to one specific area. So that's why I say in my classes always stay engaged with all your stretches. So all your muscles, all your body. Anytime we're stretching, we're doing engaged stretching. And if you want to do passive stretching, you got to go to a specific class just for that. Okay. So we're going to reach our right hand to the sky. Reach our left hand back for our right heel. Hips are pushing forward. Really like this stretch. Some sort of camel variation. Let's move back and forth a few times. Yeah, we have several myofascial meridians that move through our body. I believe there's 12 of them. But I don't know, they're learning a lot about fascia, more and more, all the time. So now's a really exciting time to be alive if you're interested in fascia. And if you think all this stuff is boring, I'll stop talking about it. And if you think it's interesting, I'm going to be releasing some videos of some myofascial meridian classes where we're going to target specific meridial lines in our body, and the classes will sort of work together. And so, when you do the group of them, we'll work all the different fascial lines in the whole body and do a bunch of mobility as well. So it'll be a pretty interesting class. I think everyone will really like it. All right. Where did we go from here? I think, oh yeah, we did the half Hanuman. So let's not forget that. Let's take a nice little forward fold over our front leg. Maybe the first time we round the spine. Fold. Rise up. Second time we lead with the chin. Bring the left foot down. Step the right foot to the top of the mat. Reach your hands up to the sky. Big inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to run through a few quick rounds of sun salutations. So if you're a beginner student and you're watching this, this is very common. Different teachers teach different variations of it. So I'm going to just try to keep a real standard variation. First round, I'm going to step back, and that's the way you want to do it when you're first starting. And if you feel comfortable with stepping back, I'll offer the challenge to float back on the second round. And if you have a more advanced practice, take any variation you like. In my more advanced videos, I'm going to encourage you to press into handstand through your vinyasas. So we're going to not do that in this video because this was the beginner video. So anyway, first round, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet to the back of the mat, and lower your chest to the ground. This is called chaturanga. I'm not actually touching the ground, I'm just hovering above the ground. We're going to inhale. If you want to lower your weight to the ground, come up into a cobra. And if that feels okay, you can engage your legs. Now my legs are up off the ground. I'm pushing into my arms. This is called upward dog. Either variation is fine. So when you're first starting, maybe you're down here a little bit. No problem. From here, we're going to exhale, push back into downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, notice how I'm pushing my chest back towards my heels and stretching into my shoulders. Okay? My feet should be about, let's say hip width, shoulder distance apart. Heels kind of pushing out, turn the toes in a little bit. Push your butt to the sky. Heels extend down towards the mat. Inhale, bend your knees. Bring your gaze to the top of the mat. And step both feet in between your hands at the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your hands all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Second round, we're going to offer the option to step or float back through chaturanga. Inhale, reach your hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, I'm going to plant my hands, and I'm not going to jump. Notice I didn't say jump, I said float. I'm going to plant my hands. I'm going to bring my weight over my hands, okay? My feet are going to come off the ground and move them to the back of the mat as I lower. It's all one movement. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, we're going to bend our knees, bring our gaze to the top of the mat. Exhale, we're going to float forward. Now, it's the same theory as you're floating forward. It's really about getting your weight over top of your hands. I see a lot of people back here and they want to jump, but that's not how you do this. So when you float forward, notice as I come, the first thing I do is I come forward and I get my shoulders over my hands. That allows me to make the weightlessness of my feet. Notice as I float forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Whatever you feel comfortable with, we're going to do 2 rounds. We'll speed it up just a little bit. Inhale, rise it up, hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step or float through chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees. Bring your gaze to the top of the mat. Step or float your feet between your hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your hands to the sky. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step or float through your chaturanga. Upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Take a few breaths. Reach your right leg to the sky. Bend your right knee and open up your hips. Keep your hands planted. Keep your shoulders squared to the ground. And allow the weight of your leg to give a nice stretch in your hip and side body. Reach the right leg straight up. Step the right foot in between your hands. Rise up into warrior 2. Bend the front knee. Straighten the back leg. Engage through the outer edge of the back leg. Hands are pointed in opposite directions. Trying to stay in one plane here. Nice and flat. Gaze is forward over the fingertips. Bend into the front knee as much as is comfortable. Let's straighten the front leg. reach the right hand forward. We're going to reach our right hand down for our shin, maybe our foot, maybe it comes down to the ground. Want to grab your toes, gum inside, outside. These are all good stretches, all good options. Legs are very engaged, both legs are. Grounding down still through the outer edge of my back leg. Grounding down through the inside edge, my front foot. Let's rise back up, warrior two. Bring the left hand behind your back. Reach the right hand overhead. Bend into that front knee. Reverse warrior. Straighten the front leg. Reach the right hand forward. Reach the left hand to the sky. Triangle pose. Bend that front knee. Warrior two, left hand behind the back. Right hand reaches overhead. Reverse warrior. Straighten that front leg. Reach forward with the right hand. Left hand comes to the sky. Triangle pose. Now from here, I want to bring the left hand down, meet the right hand. Let's reach the right hand up to the sky now. Taking a nice twist here. Still want to keep this leg engaged. Still want to stay engaged through that back leg. Okay? You are where you are, you know. Maybe you're here, maybe you're here, maybe you're here. You want to come to the outside edge. You want to come to the inside edge of the ground. It's all fine. As long as you're staying engaged for your whole body on this stretch. Okay. So watch how I do this. Keeping my engagement. And lift the left hand up. Right hand comes down. Inhale, left hand down, right hand up. Legs aren't moving, they're staying engaged. Right hand down, left hand up, triangle. Left hand down, right hand up. Reverse triangle. Parivrtta, Trikonasana. Right hand down, left hand up, triangle. Bend into that front knee. Rise up. Left hand behind the back. Right hand overhead. Reverse warrior. Bend into the front knee. Let's pivot onto our back toes. Bring both hands overhead. Still bending into the front knee. We're going to come into a high lunge. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring our weight over top of our right leg and lift our back leg up. Warrior three. And bring the arms to the side. You can bring them to prayer. Oops. Having a hard time with my warrior three right now. Okay, now let's rise up. Let's bring our left knee into our body. Don't let it touch the ground. Bring our left ankle over top of our right thigh. We'll come into a figure four. Now let's slowly squat. Sit down. Come a little prayer. Okay. Stand back up. Straighten your front leg. Now we're going to pivot back into warrior three. Couple more times. Warrior three. Figure four. Squat. Stand. Extend your left leg. Rotate back. Warrior three. One more time, you got it. Bring your left knee into your chest. Figure four. Squat. Oh. Stand back up. Extend your front leg. Step it all the way back to the back of the mat. High lunge. Place your hands on the ground. Step your right foot back. Lower through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Well, as you would see if you're watching this video, you've noticed that I'm also human. And I make mistakes too. Not perfect. No. People get confused about that a lot, but not because I ever said that I was perfect or anything. They just, sometimes assume that I am. Not true at all. Not even close, not even a little bit. All right, let's reach our left leg up to the sky. Step our left foot in between our hands. And let's rise up into warrior two. How's your breathing doing? How are you feeling? Try to bend into that front knee. Straighten the front leg. Reach the left hand forward. Right hand comes to the sky. Triangle. Bend into the front knee. Rise up, right hand behind the back. Left hand reaches overhead. Reverse warrior. Slowly move through warrior two. As you straighten the front knee. Move back into triangle. Couple more times. Slow and controlled. Right hand comes behind the back. Left hand reaches up and overhead. Front leg straightens. Left hand reaches forward. Right hand comes to the sky. Bring the right hand down to meet the left hand. Might have to reposition your back foot. Left hand to the sky. Both legs are engaged here. Okay. Left hand comes down, right hand comes up. Okay, if you need an easier modification, right hand comes down, then bring the left hand up. A little bit easier. You want a little more challenge? Learn how to control that movement. It's a lot of engagement in the core, a lot of engagement in the legs. But it's a nice movement, I like it, feels good. Bring the right hand behind the back. Send the left hand overhead. Bend into that front knee, reverse warrior. Pivot onto the toes of the back foot. High lunge. Lean forward. Bring that weight over our front foot. Extend the right leg to the sky. Warrior 3. Rise up, bring the right knee into your chest. Right ankle comes over top of the left thigh. Squat into the left leg. Stand back up. Right leg forward. Swing it back, warrior 3. Inhale, rise up. Right ankle over top of left thigh, figure 4. Exhale. Squat down. Inhale. Rise up. Extend the right leg forward. Swing it all the way back. Warrior 3. Step it down. Step it to the back of the mat. Bring both hands down. Step your left foot back. Slowly lower into your chaturanga. Inhale. Cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Let's lower our right knees to the ground. Both knees, actually. Our right knees. I'll have to figure out a new way to word it next time. Okay. So we'll have to come into camel here, with our knees in tight. Maybe feet out just a little bit. And if it's a little easier, tuck your toes. We're going to actually reach back with our left hand for our left heel. And we'll extend our right arm overhead. Okay. Let's bring the right arm down all the way across the body. Reach it back for the right heel. Left arm reaches up and overhead. do that a couple more times. Left hand, the left heel. Move with your breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. When you get there, if you can, try your best to reach back. And if you can't, you'll probably be somewhere in here like this, taking a little back bend. Just go back as far as you can. And for the rest of us, we're going to reach back for our heels. Go flat on your feet if you want a little more. Hips are really pushing forward in this back bend. The more the hips come forward, the more our weight comes back. That's where our back bend is. Rise back up. Let's keep that gentle curve in our back as we slowly lower our butt, as far down as we can. Not everyone can do this, Sometimes it helps to have some blankets or some buds if you can't sit all the way down. As a modification, you can put something underneath your legs and your butt to kind of bolster you up. Ideally, what we're trying to do is just kind of lean back here and stretch. We really want to stretch across the front of our thighs. It's really the cause of most back pain. Most of the time that people have back issues in our society because of all the office jobs there are in the world right now. People typically have really tight quads and really tight front bodies. And because of all that tightness in the front body, all that tension, that's what's putting all the pressure in people's lower back. That's where the low back pain comes. So as you stretch the front of the thighs like this, really good for relieving low back pain. Let's rise back up. Still keeping a gentle curve in our back. Let's come back onto our knees. Let's reach back for our heels one more time. Coming into a camel or a supported back bend like this. All right. Let's gently lower down onto our butt. Okay. Bring our heels together and lay back into Supta Baddha Konasana. Maybe take some gentle rocking with your hips. Extend your left leg all the way to the bottom of the mat. Bring your right leg in as much as you can. If you can't extend your right leg, that's okay. Just hang out here. And if you can, try to extend your right leg. Bring your arms into a T. So wherever you're at, if you're here or if your leg's extended or whatever variation, like to bring the right leg all the way across the body and over into the left hand, and then open the right hand back up into a T. Take a little twist. Bring the right hand back over. Grab the right foot. Let's roll it, bring it back over to the right side. One more time. All the way across the body. Into the left hand. Right hand that comes back. Open into a twist. Just hold that for a minute. Bring the right knee back into the chest. Extend it. Left knee comes in. Extend the leg a little or a lot. Arms comes into a T. Bring that left leg up and across the body. Rotate the left hand. Arms come to a T. Take a nice twist. Left hand comes across the body. Grabs the left foot. Open up. Called extended big toe pose. One more time, bring the left leg across the body, over to the right hand. Open up the left hand into a twist. Take a couple poses, a couple breaths. Or poses, I mean, whatever you feel like you need, go for it. Grab the left foot with the left hand. Open it up. Bring it back in. Extend both your legs, your hands. And relax into Shavasana. It was an honor to share my practice with you. I know that times are difficult now and they may get more difficult. So, I'm providing these videos for free, and, I want you guys to watch them and to go through them, and hopefully they can help you, deal with some stress and some anxiety. I mean, yoga is kind of what we need right now. We need ways to focus our mind. We need good breathing practices. We need to be taking care of our bodies, watching the way we eat. All of these things are going to pay an effect. And even after coronavirus, I mean, who knows how long this will last for. And when this one's gone, I'm sure the future has more of these things waiting for us. This is not the end, but only the beginning. And so, we have to become more and more healthy people if we're going to continue to survive on this planet. And we also have to learn how to work together and help each other out. Enjoy your Shavasana. Take some time. Let the practice settle in. Namaste. I'm honored to be your teacher.